People say that all the time. I'm just saying. It's an annoying thing. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's just the two of us. And I didn't say it. And as you know what I'm saying? Have I stopped you at any point along this conversation and said to you, I really am confused about what it is you're saying. Could you please reword it some other way so maybe I get the gist? Then there's the one, it goes without saying. You ever hear people say that? That's annoying because the people that say that, those kind of people, they're not going without saying. They're gonna say. My only hope is that I get away, I go before they say anything. My mechanic has a great expression, more than fair. More than fair, that's what, if I argue about a bill with him, he'll say, we charge you a price we think is more than fair. What does that mean? He figured out what was fair and then charged me more. Yeah, we figured out $75 was fair, we charge you $150. We're being twice as fair. I'm just saying. Things are a lot different. I'm getting old. One thing I learned, there's something I learned about getting old that I've realized recently. And if you're my age out there, you'll back me up on this. Even as you get older, in your head, you're not old. In your head, you don't get old. In your head, you're still like 20, 25 years old. It's kind of amazing. But there are things during the day that remind you that you're old. Like things like standing up. And then having to sit down because you stood up too fast. And then all the blood rushes to your head. And you go, oh, am I going to die? No, okay. That's the most exciting part of my day. You know what else makes me feel like a 30-year-old calling me sir? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Hey, drop dead, kid. Filling out a form online makes you feel old, you know, because you put your name and your address and your phone number, then you get to your birthday, but the day and the month, and then you got to scroll. An hour and a half later. I'm taking a nap in between. Also, mirrors are the worst. Mirrors are the virtual reminder that you're old, because you're walking around in your head, you're 20 years old, all of a sudden you see yourself in the mirror, you go, oh, excuse me, sir. Things make me, you know, some things confuse me. Like, I saw not an ad, but a headline about the census. It said that 42% of Americans didn't fill out the census. Now, how do they know that? You know what else confuses me? But contractions with two words, they're shortened. How come the contractions for do not is don't? Cannot is can't, but will not is won't. Shouldn't it be willn't? I mean, it sounds weird when you say willn't, but if that's what it always was, it wouldn't sound weird. You'd be saying it every day. You're at a protest? Heck no, we willn't go. You're talking to your kids, they're acting, I willn't put up with this behavior. You're hosting a party, you want to get people to eat. Hey, willn't you try the hors d'oeuvres? I think I willn't. Why willn't you? I can't say. Can't or will it? There's another thing that gets me. You ever try something new when you eat? You try something exotic or different, and then when somebody asks you what it tastes like, what does it always taste like? Chicken. Always tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken. Here's my question. How come eggs don't taste like chicken? I don't know either. I read something interesting the other day. You know what praying mantises do after they mate? No, they don't kill each other, then there'd be no mantises. But you're close. After they mate, praying mantises, the female bites the head off the male. This guy shows up for work on Monday. Everybody knows how his weekend went. There are no secrets in the mantis world. There are no affairs either, I suppose. You come home with no head, you try to explain to your wife where you've been. And you know how that works out. I saw a commercial the other day for a mattress company who was doing a commercial on TV, and their slogan was, we take sleep to the next level. We take sleep to the next level. What is the next level of sleep? Death. I don't think I want that mattress. Do you have a mattress where I wake up refreshed and feeling alive? That I could get into. Everything's changed too. The news. You watch cable news, there's too much going on cable news, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, there was just one guy talking to you on the screen telling you the news, and it was always a guy, because until like 76 they didn't realize women could read too. Enlightened world we lived in. But there's just too much going on the screen, you know what I mean? There's like the person there, the anchor, and then there's that grid of people in squares. It looks like the Brady Bunch is there to answer political questions. And then there's the crawl on the bottom. The crawl, I hate the crawl. The crawl, because I can't not look at it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to pay attention to the person talking. I'm listening. Okay, yeah, good, I'm listening. I got you. No, I'm not paying attention. But 5 minutes in, I'm looking at the crawl. And that gets me mad, because I'm paying like $150 a month for cable. And now I'm reading the TV. And I can't concentrate on what I'm reading, because this guy keeps talking. It's like, hey, shut up, I'm trying to read the news. You know what they didn't have when we were young too? When I was young, they didn't have the live satellite feed. You know that thing where guy in America can talk to somebody 5,000 miles away and instantly they're connected. But it's not always so instant. You ever notice that? There's always like some kind of gap of time between when the guy asks the question and the other guy hears the question. Sometimes it's a pretty big gap too. Sometimes you could go out for lunch. But the guy in America goes, well, Jim, it must be harrowing there on the eve of such a big battle. And then Jim's over there. Yes, Bill. Was it worth it? You ever watch regular TV, like network TV during prime time, and they go to a commercial, and before they go back to the show, like the late night news does some little blurb for what's coming up at 11. You know what I mean? It's always some horrible thing. They go, danger is lurking in your neighborhood. More at 11. And I'm like, more at 11? How about everything now? It's only 9 o'clock. That's 2 hours of lurking danger. And I don't know if you noticed, but I live in my neighborhood. What if Paul Revere did that? What if Paul Revere rode down the city of Boston going, somebody's coming, more at 11? I'll tell you what would happen. We'd be speaking with a British accent today. I just had my birthday. I don't like birthdays anymore. It's diminishing returns on the birthday thing. You know what I mean? Especially gift-wise. I haven't gotten a good birthday present since I was like 50. I got a theory about that. My theory is that people think you have everything you need by the time you're 50, so they don't care what they get you after that. They'll walk into the store, the first thing they see, let's get that and get that guy out of here. But honey, that's a ceramic monkey. Well, does he have one? He does now. You know what somebody gave me last year for my birthday? They gave me the button-fly jeans. You know, things that got the 5 buttons instead of 1 zipper. Yeah, I had to give up liquids because of these pants. It's one thing I don't need after a couple of beers, and that's a dexterity test. Nobody can get in there. David Copperfield cannot get in those pants after a couple of shots. And I'm talking about David Copperfield, the magician, not the Dickens character. I think these jokes are much funnier if you know who I'm talking about. If you own a pair of button-fly jeans, here's a tip for you. Wear diapers. Seriously, that way you can be standing in a bar with somebody and go, I'm peeing right now. And I am.